Good evening, everyone. It is 5:32, and the Cleveland City Schools Board of Education will now come to order. We're going to have a moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance led from our student representative, Jackson Assaron. And then immediately following that, we're going to have a swearing-in of new and returning board members, and Dr. Jeff Elliott is going to facilitate that.
Please pause for the moment of silence. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight we have two board members to swear in tonight. One is Nate Tucker and also Ms. Carolyn Ingram. And so Judge Mike Sharp is here tonight. So we will be coming to the podium down here to have the swearing in of Mr. Tucker and Ms. Ingram.
All right, Dr. Elliott, thank you, sir. I've got to say a couple of things. One, I've never done this technologically before. We'll see how good my Cleveland High School education was, I guess. So I do want to say that I saw Miss Ingram earlier, and I told Miss Ingram she was the best principal that my children ever had. Now, that's been a day or two. My children now have children in high school. So, but well, you were very young when you started. So, but it is an honor to get to do this, Jeff. I'm a Cleveland High School graduate and a very proud graduate of Cleveland High School. We came to Cleveland for my dad to be the principal at Cleveland High School, 1967, and to see how this has evolved from then until now is amazing. So, congratulations to you all. You've done a great job with this place, but congratulations to all of the board members. I think we have a great board, but I really think we have just a number one grade A school system, and I've heard it said it is a great day to be a Blue Raider. So if the two of you would raise your right hand, I'm just going to swear you in at the same time. And so, do you both solemnly swear that you will uphold the Constitution and the statutes of the United States of America and the state of Tennessee as a school board member of the Cleveland City Schools? And do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the office to which you have been elected? If you do, say, I will. And by the authority vested in me from the citizens of Bradley County, Tennessee, and the city of Cleveland, Tennessee, I declare these board members to be duly elected and duly sworn in pursuant to the laws of the state of Tennessee. So help me God. Thank you and congratulations. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Great to see you.
Okay, before we get started down the agenda, I want to mention a couple of things. I want to welcome all of our visitors, but I also want to make you aware of a couple of things. As chairman of the Cleveland City Schools Board of Education, I'm committed to running an orderly meeting and an efficient meeting, treating everyone with respect. Board members will be provided equal voice for all matters and should communicate through the director of schools for addressing his staff. A couple of reminders for parents and community members. Board of Education policies can be found on our website at clevelandschools.org. When there, click District, Board of Directors, and select Board Policies. Our meetings are not public forums. However, the board has made accommodations for a city resident, a Cleveland City Schools employee, or a parent guardian of a Cleveland City Schools student to address the board via two methods. Those methods can be found in Policy 1.404. Those two options are appearing before the board via a pre-meeting request and addressing the board on agenda items via same-day requests. All right, today we have Krista McKay missing, or absent rather. She's not missing, she's just absent. And I wanted to mention that because if you have not heard, that Krista will be continuing to fill that seat for District 2 until the November election, when we'll have a board member here to represent that district. But she's going to fill in until then. All right, the first item on the agenda is our consent agenda. Is there any agenda items that you would like removed?
I would like clarification on the DBT therapy brochure. Is that something that is that just information, or is that something we're?
Yeah, the DBT curriculum is information about a curriculum we're using in our secondary level schools, and we're starting in 7th and 8th grade. We wanted to start that this year. It goes along with a lot of the resources that we're providing to help support our counselors and in areas related to what Dr. Carr's and the well-being program that we're doing here. And so that's a description of what is being offered to those students there in their curriculum. And that's what that is. So it's just an understanding of what they're sharing in the classroom in those two areas. So,
Okay, so
you have any other
is that more
questions?
training for teachers?
It's not
or-
training for teachers. The teachers who have done that, previewed that, and went through some preliminary training this summer. It's health teachers and specific teachers and counselors at the high school and the middle school already.
Okay.
Dr. Elliott, maybe sometime at one of our meetings, they might come and talk a little bit about it.
Sure. And let's see, I would ask Dr. Carr's to be present, and she is in the room to tell you a little bit more if you do want to. If you do have a couple questions this evening, she is prepared to share a little bit about that if you want to do that.
Later. Let's,
Do you want to?
whatever.
Okay, we can do that at a later time then.
Okay.
All right, so are there any other questions or anything you want to remove from the consent agenda? All right, so we're going to call a vote, but before we do, I want to make mention that I will be recusing myself from this vote as I'm involved with one of the booster clubs that we're voting on today, so.
On the motion to approve the consent agenda, Carolyn Ingram,
Yes.
Andy Lane,
Yes.
Peggy Pesterfield,
Yes.
Jody Riggins,
Yes.
and Matthew Coleman.
Yes.
All right, passes.
Thank you. We did not have any public comments, so I want to make note of that, and that's why we did not entertain any comments there. All right, so next on the agenda, we have Director's Update, and Dr. Jeff Elliott will be leading us for that.
Okay, we have several things going on in August, and so I wanted to highlight a few things the past month and some things that are coming up this coming month. First of all, had the privilege and opportunity to present at Sunrise Rotary this month on August 15th. Had a great group there early on that Thursday morning, and just to tell all the great things happening in Cleveland City Schools and getting the word out there. Back in the spring, Mr. Kaiser and I had an opportunity to share with Noonday Rotary, and so it's good to be out there sharing with our community. First administrative meeting that we were able to have here, there's a picture there in the corner of our principals and our supervisory staff and assistant principals and everybody. We gathered here, and it was just good to have this room for professional development and to kick it off in style in that way. And our vision is to continue to do that with our teachers and our staff and have opportunities in this wonderful facility. So it was great. August the 20th and the 21st, our BCPEF partners are sponsoring a Leadership Fellows group for the third year now that's been ongoing, and we nominate and have teachers go through a leadership program for a year where they work on meeting once a month and talk about and train on leadership skills. And they had a kickoff retreat in Maryville, and a superb group there coming together in leadership in a good way there. I had an opportunity to present on August the 20th to that group. Right before me was Phil Fulmer, And so it was kind of a tough act to follow, I guess. And so, but it was really good. Inaugural breakfast with the board. The board, I know, has done lunches at each school over the years, but this year we are kicking off something a little different. And I would count it as success at Arnold. The Arnold staff very welcoming, and we had a good morning over there last week. We've begun our conversations this fall with different staff at Arnold and Blythe Bower last week. Tomorrow I'll be at Candy's, and throughout the fall, scheduled times to make myself available for staff members who might want to have a one-on-one conversation with me for feedback. I always like to brag about some of the grants that we're getting, and I appreciate the staff members who take the time to write these, so I do think it's important to recognize them. We received a grant for Arnold and Blythe Bower that our goal is to be able to have that for 5 years. It's $65,000 a year, and then for 5 years on top comes to $325,000. We also have received a grant from the Chattanooga Food Bank that we're excited about. It has funds, but also some equipment and other things to supply our food bank here in Cleveland City Schools. And also, recently we received an $80,000 pre-K student programming grant to help out with our behavior needs that are going on in our pre-K world. So exciting things happening, and I appreciate the staff for helping write those grants. Upcoming events this coming month is a big month. This coming Thursday, our board will be headed to Athens to a regional board meeting, and that will be gathering with other boards here in the Southeast Tennessee area. And the GAP guests are here in town, arriving today, and will be here for the next 2 weeks. That's our German partner groups. Over the last several years, Cleveland High School and Walker Valley High School have partnered with our German guests who come from there, and we plan on trying to return the favor, and we have the opportunity to partner and go over to Germany in the summer. And so this has been a good partnership. They'll be here, experience all different types of activities in Southeast Tennessee and East Tennessee, and get a feel of what Tennessee life is like. We have our first Blue on 2 Day coming up next Monday, September the 9th. We put out that the second Monday of each month, we are going to celebrate being who we are at Cleveland City Schools. So I encourage our staff to wear their blue on the second Monday of each month, and let's celebrate Cleveland City Schools that way. Our board, I did want to put this out there, is going to be coming together to meet with the City Council. On September the 19th, we are going to be talking about the future and growth in Cleveland City Schools and what our needs are, and we're glad to have that and be a host to the City Council on that day. We have a special event coming up on September the 20th, the Blue on the Green. It's going to be over here on the Greenway for our staff and guests from the childhood cancer awareness families. They're going to be here, and we're going to honor them and provide opportunities to recognize them. As you see in the pictures, we have a couple of shirts that the bottom corner shirt is a shirt that Raider Evolve, our program at Cleveland High School, those students produced for students and staff at Cleveland High School. And then we also had a district shirt for all our employees in Cleveland City Schools, so we're going to be wearing those this month and support those families. The next breakfast with the board is scheduled for September the 24th. It'll be over at Cleveland High School. Just a quick comment about Digital Safety Week. 2 weeks ago, we kicked off our Digital Safety Week, and that is across all our schools where our teachers are delivering instruction each day on a different topic related to digital safety. You can see the topics that were shared there, from privacy and security to digital footprint, communications, and cyberbullying, and also AI, and a lot more related to that. And we were in some of those classrooms, even some of those lessons were being delivered last week when we were at Arnold, and we were hearing a discussion about privacy and security while we were in there. So hats off to all our teachers and to the technology team and our Blade facilitators for helping get that organized and pulling that off in a good way. A couple of weeks ago, I challenged our staff to think about what kind of mission are you on, and we've put out the request for them to share some comments. These are we used a thought exchange survey product that we have to gather that information. These were the top 5 that came to the top. There were several comments that came out, and so we had a variety of different ones, but I thought these were good. One of them was I'm on a mission to develop future citizens of our community. Another one is I'm on a mission to nurture and grow kinders into lifelong learners by providing them with a solid foundation in math, reading, and school culture. The next comment came in, I'm on a mission to encourage my students to reach higher than they ever thought possible, learn new skills, and make everlasting relationships. The fourth one was I'm on a mission to support our ESL students and teachers so that everyone achieves success this year. And then the last one that came up at the very top was I'm on a mission to bring out the best in all teachers so that they can bring out the best in all students. We had several come in. I'm going to encourage other people to continue to comment on that because just a reminder of what we're about here, bringing out the best in our students and providing the best we can from academics to the student supports that we're talking about, and we continue, and it's just a great reminder of that. Which brings me to the last couple of slides here of my report is just a reminder of what our actual Cleveland City Schools vision and mission is in Cleveland City Schools. This year, our board and our whole district will be looking at the next 5 years and envisioning what does that look like in 2030 in Cleveland City Schools. And it's going to be an exciting time just to have that time to brainstorm and have a vision about that. And so, but the first step in that is just zero in on what our vision and mission is. And this is just a reminder of what that is. Our vision is to inspire and educate thriving and confident students who become exceptional life learners and contributing citizens in their community. Also, the bottom line mission statement that we have is our mission is to educate and equip students with the academic, social, and emotional skills necessary to be successful and productive. And so those are our statements, and we'll be just reflecting on that for a few weeks here as we jumpstart our strategic planning and move into more of the details related to our goals and the future vision of where we want to go in Cleveland City Schools. And as we end, these are the first couple of days of school. Just want to share the great smiling faces and all the activities happening at the beginning of the school year. It's hard to believe we've been through a month now since that first day, but these were some really special pictures, and this is what it's all about right here. And so it's been a great month, and we're ready for another one right here. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Elliott. Are there any questions or comments for Dr. Elliott? All right, next on the agenda is a spotlight. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Dr. Elliott.
All right, let's see. The first spotlight is with our new certified staff that are in the room, and we want to recognize them. And so I'm going to call on Dr. Susan Rodriguez from our Human Resources Department to present.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Susan Rodriguez, and I am the Human Resources Specialist. It's always an exciting time when we can welcome new members to our school community. So employees, when I call your name, if you'll stand up and wave so we all know who you are. At the district level, we have Taylor Brett as a new speech language pathologist. We have Amy Hinderer as a new school social worker. Okay. At Arnold Memorial Elementary, we have Abby Cox, who is joining the 5th grade team. We have Carrie Griswold, who is joining the kindergarten team. And we have Sam Reed, who is joining us in 1st grade. All right. At Blythe Bauer Elementary, we have Chase Chamberlain, who joins us in the 4th grade. There you are. Christy Dolan is joining the 3rd grade team. Taylor Holloway is joining the 2nd grade team. Carissa McConnell will join the kindergarten team. Dr. Joe Parker is our new assistant principal. I know he's here somewhere. And Patrick Williams will be joining the 1st grade team. All right, thank you all. At Candies Creek, Cherokee Elementary, we have Rebecca Brown, who is joining our special education department, and Aubrey Hawley, who is joining our 4th grade team. At E.L. Ross Elementary, we have Summer Mock, who is joining our third grade team. Okay. At George R. Stewart Elementary, we have Abby Beck, who joins us as the music teacher, and Andrew Van Kirk, who joins us as a resource teacher. Okay. At Mayfield Elementary, we have Ariana Bartow, who is joining the fifth grade team, Liana Collins, who joins the first grade team, Chrissy McConkey, who joins the second grade team, Lisa Stogner, who is our new ERC teacher, and Kelly Thompson, who joins our fourth grade team. At Yates Primary School, we have Amber Morris, who is our new RTI facilitator, Danielle Tapp, who joins our kindergarten team, and Missy Welch, who also joins our kindergarten team. All right. At Cleveland High School, we have Amy Adams, who joins as a Spanish teacher in our world language department. We have Kimberly Adkins, who joins as our special ed team leader. We have Lee Bergacker, who joins us in our ESL department. Alan Bivens, who joins us in our special ed department. Becky Brady, who joins us as our new Blade facilitator. Roxanne Caldwell, who joins our CTE department as a health science teacher. Madison Castello, who joins our English department. Kyle Gilpin, who joins our social studies department. Travis Gregg, who joins our CTE department as the criminal justice teacher. Jennifer Grisham, who joins our English department. Matthew Hicks, who joins as a Spanish teacher in our world language department. Josh Hinman, who joins as a teacher in Raider Blue Academy. Amy Marks, who joins our math department. Tara McNeil, who joins us as a school counselor. Alfonso Rogers, who joins our English department. Emily Soleil, who joins our ESL department. Deidre Sina, who joins us as a school counselor. And Ashley Stevens, who joins our math department. All right, at Cleveland Middle, we have Allie Ball, who joins 8th grade ELA. Jennifer Cross, who joins us in 8th grade math. Madeline Hammonds, who joins us in 7th grade ELA. Lauren Hahn, who joins us in 6th grade ELA. Deanna Johnson, who joins us in 8th grade science. Sammy Lynn Jordan, who joins us as a special services teacher. Tatiana Kolomietz, hope I said that correctly. Was that good? Yay! Okay. Who joins us in our ESL department. Elise Lascudo, who joins us in 8th grade ELA. Kristen Milan, who joins us as a school counselor. Katie Pickett, who joins us in 6th grade ELA. Cooper Renich, who joins us in our PE department. Sarah Scanapiego, who joins us in 6th grade science. Lindsay Scott, who joins us in 6th grade math. And finally, Holly Stroud, who joins us as a teacher in Raider Blue Academy. Thank you.
All right, let's give them a big hand. And we're going to ask all those new teachers to come up here and make a couple of lines here for a picture with the board. So if you'll just stand here in the center in front of the board, and we'll get a picture. Thank you, guys, and thank you for coming to the reception earlier. Hope you guys have a good evening. Okay, our next recognition is a special teacher that's in the room tonight, Ms. Jordan Wagers. We're going to have ask her to stand and see if Mr. Kaiser will just say a quick word about Ms. Jordan Wagers.
You got to come up here, Jordan. I'm going to make you come up here. Ignore Mr. Pritchard. Most of the rest of us do anyway. It's okay. Jordan was named one of the Novice Teachers of the Year for the state of Tennessee. I believe was there 10 or not? 10 for the entire state. She was one of the individuals chosen. It is a new program that the state of Tennessee has begun. You have to be in your first or second year of teaching, and she was selected from all the nominees from across the state. So we're very proud of her. She represented us in Nashville not long ago, so we wanted to bring her and have her recognized by the board tonight. So, Jordan, if you want to go and shake board members' hands, we are very proud of you.
Oh, gotcha.
Congratulations. Thank you for all you do.
We have a running joke here among some of our staff that anybody who started at Yates, I always have to mention it. So Mike Cars just really gives me a hard time about it, but Jordan was one of mine too. You were still my first.
Congratulations, Jordan. We're proud of you. All right. And then the last spotlight item that we have tonight is our school feature, and tonight's feature is Arnold Memorial Elementary School. So Mr. Chai is going to come and share with us.
Good evening, Mike Chai, principal at Arnold Memorial Elementary School, and we are, Carolyn helped me do the math before the school board meeting started, we are in our 95th year of educating students at Arnold, so we are extremely proud of that. No, we're not doing a 95th anniversary, Ms. Ingram, but maybe you can help us with 96. So this year at Arnold, we are calling this the Year of the Powerful Teacher. I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. Cody, you can go ahead. I don't know if Cody's doing this. This is demographic of our population. So what you can see here, and I'm going to look over here, I think it was in the year 2019-2020 is when we rezoned. And a little bit before that, we were up to as many as 400 students and maybe in the high 370s, 380s. And then when we rezoned with the opening of Canyons Creek Cherokee Elementary School, we went down to about 250 students. And we have grown since then, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little bit less, but now we're bigger than we have. The biggest we've been since rezoning at 301 students. So we are continuing to grow, and we are officially out of classrooms at Arnold. We are using every square inch. We'll go on to our next slide. We have some powerful teachers. We have thank you to the school board over the last 5 years, because you all have made it possible for us to have a full-time RTI a facilitator that serves over 200 students a day in our RTI program. So we serve about 2/3 of our students in our RTI program, which is a huge number. Thank you for an additional teacher that you provided in our lower grades, kindergarten, first, second, and third grade. Now we've gone from 2 teachers since rezoning to now 3 teachers in all of those grade levels. We have gone, pardon me, 13 years ago I started at Arnold. We had a part-time ESL teacher, and not long after that we had a full-time ESL teacher. And then a few years later we added a second full-time ESL teacher. Now we have a third full-time ESL teacher in a school of 301. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing for us to be able to serve that community, and thank you for your help there. We have an additional assistant in ERC that we are working on getting. We have a part-time social worker, and we are keeping her busy as well. We've switched from a part-time office aide to a full-time office aide, because that person also is our full-time interpreter. We could not survive without a full-time interpreter at Arnold. It's that important. And we've switched from a part-time assistant principal to a full-time assistant principal. And Mr. Ingram says that that's her favorite assistant principal in the system. It's her son, Mr. Ingram. We're happy to have him there. These are our demographics, and you can see, again, I think it was the year maybe 2019, 2020, where we kind of flipped in our demographics a little bit, you can see here that purple line, that purple bars, those purple bars in the middle, that is our Latino Hispanic population. And so several years ago, we flipped from being majority of Caucasian white students to being majority Hispanic students. And so that kind of helps you to understand the change and the need that we have, and the need in having 3 full-time ESL teachers, the need in having a full-time interpreter, because we have over 40%, currently right now, 43.5% of our families are Hispanic or Latino, compared to 26.91% who are white. And you can look back several years ago at the top of that graph, the demographics were very different. So that shows you the change in the downtown area, the change in Cleveland as well. We love it. We love it at Arnold. We love reaching out to all of our students and our families. And I think it's something that just makes it really cool, because when we have visitors into the building, they have no idea. They have no idea how diverse our city is. And they'll see students walking down the hallways and they'll look at me and they'll be like, I had no idea. And so I just think it's wonderful to be able to help people like see what we have. Go ahead. We're going to take a little bit of time, brag on ourselves. Last year, we were selected for the 2nd year in a row as a Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase School. We're proud to do that. We can go ahead, Cody. What do we do to do that? We focus on relationships between teachers and students, and teachers and teachers. We focus on our social contract. We want to engage, explore, communicate, empower, and launch our students and our teachers on a daily basis. This is a picture of our staff social contract. We have a group at Arnold who help lead this in a faculty meeting, and the words up at the top in black are the ways that we are going to treat each other, the adults in the building. And everyone signed off on it and has agreed to it. And it's been cool because it's already come into effect a couple times. It's been great. So this is the agreement that we have, how we're going to treat each other in the building. The other thing that we're very proud of is last year we received our STEM designation. So we had a group that worked extremely hard. All of the teachers worked on it, but I had a group, our STEM team, worked extremely hard to get all the information together to help us receive our STEM designation last year. We are very proud of that. We can go on to the next one. Here you'll see some of the things that happened, but the ones I want to focus on are the students in the medical gowns. They had full body outlines, and they were creating different systems in the body. So the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the nervous system, all of those things. The digestive system was my favorite because they were playing with these big, huge balls of yarn that were like large intestines, and it was a lot of fun. They were having a great time, hands-on learning about science. It was just part of the process that we went through last year for STEM designation. This is where we talk with the teacher. Sometimes as a teacher, you feel like the little man. Sometimes you feel like the big man, or the big little woman or the big woman, however you want to look at it. Whether you think you can't, or think you can, you're right. And so we are having to focus on the power of belief and the understandings of what power do we have as teachers in the building. And sometimes it feels like there's not a whole lot we can do, but we can do a whole lot, I believe we can. Go ahead, Mr. Raper. So this is what we've told our teachers. You have power over several things. You have power over your impact on students. You have the choice to get up. Not only the choice to get up on a Tuesday morning after a long weekend, but the choice to get up in the classroom after you've had a hard day and continue on. We have a choice to believe in our students. We have power over the time that we use in our classrooms and outside of our classrooms to benefit our students. We have power over our pedagogy and strategies. We have power over our ability to reflect on the learning that students are doing. And that's something we're really focusing on this year and with our assessments. We have power over our relationships with students. We have power over our relationships with others, which gives us a lot that we can do at Arnold this year. Just want to thank you for our new teacher positions, the things that you've done in our building that you can't always see. A new roof over our gym is great because we don't have leaks. Sealing the brick on the exterior of the building is great because we don't have water intrusion in the building. You've provided a brand new kitchen for us this year or over the last couple of years, and that's great. Safety features such as key card access, security cameras, and commitment and support to STEM education. It's been a huge deal for Arnold. Thank you. And then we have some things coming up. Mr. Taylor's talked with you about this. We have some hot rooms. We have some sort of hot rooms. We have some air conditioning issues that we're getting taken care of. Mr. Taylor's helping us with that. Thank you so much for approving that. We have a parking lot that's going to be redone soon, and you all have approved that, and thank you so much. And that parking lot is probably the biggest teacher get that I have heard about in the last 13 years I've been at Arnold. They're excited for that. And we have upcoming work on our classrooms this year in 24, 25, and we're going to do a great job and make you all proud. Thank you for your time. I think that's it. Yep. Thank you. Any questions about Arnold?
Mike, I have expressed this to you, but after we were there last Monday, I think it was Monday, whatever day we were there, I came away absolutely just couldn't believe the things that's happening at Arnold. And most of you all have probably been in the building, but it's a diamond in the rough with the children and the teachers and things they're doing. So just thank you and the faculty there for providing this kind of environment for the children in that area.
Well, thank you. We were happy to see you all there. The students enjoyed having breakfast with everyone, and the students weren't afraid to ask the hard questions. I think Mr. Tucker heard, we were sitting across from a young girl, Avery. She said, "Mr. Chai, I've got a question for you." She's like, "How do we have this breakfast every day?" Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we have first reading of policies. And Ms.
We
Ricketts
only
will
have
be doing
one
that.
policy to deal with this time, and this is about the student transportation management. These changes were made because of a change in legislation. And then I think Hal had some things clarified, so we know everything on there is correct. Are there any questions or concerns? Okay.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept first reading of policy for policy 3.400.
So moved.
We have Carolyn as first and a second. Peggy Passfield is a second. Are there any additional comments, questions? Okay, we'll call for a vote.
On the motion to approve the first reading of policy, Jody Riggins,
Yes.
Matthew Coleman,
Yes.
Andy Lay,
Yes.
Carolyn Ingram,
Yes.
Krista McKay is absent, Nate Tucker,
Yes.
and Peggy Pesterfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, we have strategic plan focus. And by the way, that policy or that vote did pass.
Okay. To present tonight is Ms. Bender to give us an update on some goals related to the Cleveland City Schools District Plan.
Good evening. Unfortunately, I'm here by myself tonight because Dr. Lang is not feeling well. So Dr. Lang and I put this presentation together and we were going to tag team it, and she got sick on me. So we hope she's feeling better. I know she's listening and watching tonight. So I will get a text if I don't do this the right way. So we're going to try really, really hard. Well, our charge from Dr. Elliott was just to look at the goals that we have set aside in the strategic plan and to kind of give you an update on what we're doing this year during the school year to try to reach these goals. You're familiar with the goals, but the first two goals have to do with ELA and math, and it says by 2025, Cleveland City Schools will increase by 3% the number of students that score proficient on ELA and math sections of the TCAP, the EOC, or a level 3 or higher on TVOS. And the things that we have put in place this year to make sure that we help our schools and our students reach those goals is the district academic team has been meeting with individual school leadership teams to discuss their school data and then the individual school goals that each school has set. The district has this overall arching goal, but it's up to each individual school to look at their data and decide what is best for their school and how they want to focus on that. So one of the goals that we're helping them, how we're helping them, is that we're meeting with them, we're letting them share their goals with us, and then we're saying, how can we support you? We have all these resources at the district. What can we do to help you? And we've had lots of different things as far as looking at additional research, looking at walking beside them when they're doing some walkthroughs in some situations, providing some additional support for individual teachers. It's just whatever they really want us to do. So we are there to serve them, and that's been a really very positive thing that we've seen when we've been going on in the schools. The other thing that we're going to do in all areas is we're going to continue the implementation of high-quality instructional materials and provide professional development that focuses on student growth and achievement. The third goal that we have is focusing on science, and that will increase by 3% the number of students that score proficient on science sections of the TCAP or the EOC, or a level 3 or higher on TVOS. This is an exciting year for the state of Tennessee because we are going into a science textbook adoption. So all year long this year, we will be working with a team that will have a representative from each elementary school band. And so there'll be one K2 and one 3-5 in each building. And then the high school and the middle school will have representatives as well. We will look at the new state standards for science. Then after we look at those standards and get a really good understanding, we will look at each textbook that is on the approved list from the State Department of Education. It'll be a lot like we've done in the past, Carolyn, where you've served on the ELA textbook committee. We'll meet with those teachers. They will in turn turn the tables and go back to their building with this material. Let their teachers in their building look at the material. Then everybody will rate those materials. They'll come back to us and we'll make a recommendation to the school board to adopt. So that's a whole long process all year long. That's going to be really what we're going to focus on. In the day-to-day of science, we're going to continue to focus on that STEM designation process for elementary schools. We did receive 2 schools last year, and we have 3 more schools that are in that process over the next 2 years to receive that designation. And there is a new implementation of computer science curriculum at the middle school. The next goal was that Cleveland City Schools will decrease chronic absenteeism in grades K through 12 to meet or fall below the state's chronic absenteeism average. There's a lot of work being done on chronic absenteeism right now. And in the district, we have a group that is looking to find ways to increase attendance percentage and decrease absenteeism. We are promoting awareness about chronic absenteeism to students and to families. There's a campaign to let parents know it's really important that your students come to school, and here's why. And so they're working on that in each building. We're implementing a tiered attendance plan across the district that's being monitored in each individual building. Individual schools are promoting attendance incentives, like what the high school has done with the Raider Way project and program. And we will continue to implement Capturing Kids' Hearts. The last goal that we're going to talk about is that Cleveland City Schools will increase by 3% the number of students that demonstrate readiness for students in grades 9 through 12 for meaningful post-secondary education, a training program, and or workforce entry through the Ready Graduate Indicator. We have hired for Cleveland City Schools an ACT counselor for the middle school and the high school. It's one person that's going in between both schools. We know that her position is to assist students, teachers, and parents in raising that ACT score. We will continue the focus of career exploration in grades K through 12. We will increase the number of industry certifications, work-based learning, and capstone experiences for our students, and we are offering the ASVAB test to all 11th grade students. But the bottom line is that we are here to educate, innovate, and elevate our students. And so Dr. Lang and I took just a few pictures that show all of the wonderful things that are happening each and every day in our buildings. Our teachers are working so very, very hard, and we will continue to support them throughout the year on this journey. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. We do have, excuse me, we do have a campus court program that is still in all of our schools. Okay, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is attendance and enrollment update.
Mr. Cars is going to come share from our data team and give us an update on how our attendance has gone here as we start the year.
All right, it's great to speak to you guys tonight and update you guys on enrollment. So the good news is Cleveland is growing, and over the past few years, you'll see that in some of the graphs we show. So I'd say that's the number one theme for tonight for this presentation is Cleveland is still growing, continues to grow. So a couple of things before I start. Jordan left, but Jordan Wagers had my daughter for Algebra 2, and just an amazing teacher. Just wanted to say that. I was a math teacher. Well, that did not get passed on to my children. I don't feel like any of them, but so Miss Wagers is an excellent teacher. And then also, if you saw me back here when Mike Chai used one of my data dashboards, I had a little bit of a tear-up moment there when he used that. So. All right, jokes aside, we'll get started. And look, I provided you a snapshot of our dashboard that kind of shows the overall view of the district. You can see that the schools have access to this, and we're working on getting you access as well, that you can click on a school and everything filters to that school. So I kept this presentation, obviously, at the district level to show you our totals, and you can kind of see each cohort, each grade level. We tend to stay around 440 to 450 in each grade level. Kindergarten usually starts a little bit low, and we gain students for some reason through the grade levels. You can also see the pie charts, the donut charts there to show you the percentages of some things. It's a weird stat, but it's always weird to me that we have significantly more males than females. That one always gets me, but it's always that way. All right, next slide, Dr. Raper. This is just full out numbers. What's funny in our business and our department is if you could ask us, well, how many students do we have? And I'll say it depends, because we actually track more students than actually come to campus. We're required to track students that come in for walk-in services, for SPED. We have pre-K that's not part of our system. We have students that are getting IEA money. So the number of students depends. Well, these are on-campus K through 12. So I just wanted to tell you that whenever you see graphs, that's typically what I narrow it down to, is just K-12 on-campus students. So 5724, of course, this is a snapshot. It changes all the time. It's actually up about 5, net 5 from that. But you can see that growth. We definitely, if you look back at the year that we had to close school and go virtual, you can see that all public schools lost students. That's a nationwide trend. But you can see we dropped back, but then we've continued to grow since then at a pretty steady pace. You can go ahead, Dr. Raper. This is when I teared up back in the back that Mr. Chai used. I love the visual of this because it's the perfect graph to show over time that we've become a more diverse school system. So just like when Mr. Chai was talking about Arnold, you can see that in the district as well. And so we're at about, I believe, 46% Caucasian. We've got about 30% Hispanic, and then 10% multiracial and 10% African American, and then relatively small for the other groups. You go ahead, Dr. Raper. Another very interesting graph, and when you ask how many EL students do we have, that's also depends. But at the time when I took this, you can, for the visual of it, see over time how our ELs have grown through the years. So pretty dramatic to the point where, talking to Christy Duncan earlier, was saying if you work in stats at all, this is turning from kind of a linear situation to more exponential. So it definitely has an upward trend over the years. Go ahead, Dr. Raper. And just in conclusion, just to give you some points, some key takeaways as to what's happening in Cleveland City Schools when it comes to enrollment. We continue to grow, so we're about 75 students over this exact same time last year. So that's expected pretty solid growth from last year to this year. For the future, historically from fall up to the end of school year, we gained 2% in the past few years since that 2020 year. So we would expect that we could have over 5,800 students by the end of this school year. That's amazing. And then we could break 6,000 by 26, 27. So we're growing, and those trends seem to be supporting those numbers. Also, enrollments and transfers, we have, I say we do facilitate it, but the schools and the school offices work ridiculously hard to enroll students and get them into school. We've had 978 new students enrolled in Cleveland City Schools this year. And based on trends from every year, we will have enrolled by the end of the year about 1,400 new students. Now, we also had kids graduate last year. Those are not included in the 579, but we've had 579 students that have transferred out of Cleveland City Schools, and we've had 133 transfer in between elementary schools this year. So all of that to say, we're busy, very busy, moving students, getting students in, getting students where they need to be. But that kind of gives you a picture of that number of students, 5,720, as it grows. That's a lot more than that number come in and out of the system each year. And then just to end, Cleveland City Schools is increasingly becoming a more diverse place to learn and represents a wide array of languages, cultures, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Just like what Mr. Chai said, it's amazing to watch, and definitely from a data perspective, it's been interesting to chart and track over the years. So go ahead, Dr. Rayburn. So any questions or discussions that you wanted to have about enrollment? You seem pleased with growth, so the kids keep coming and we keep teaching them, so they just can't, no more rooms in Arnold, apparently. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Next on the agenda, we have marketing.
Yeah, we have a marketing presentation. Brandy King, our communication specialist, we hired her this summer. And as we got to talking, we started talking about an idea that we wanted to pursue. And so she's going to come and share where we go from here.
Yes, thank you so much for having me this evening and wanting to talk about our marketing and how we want to continue to elevate. We also want to inspire and continue all the good work and the good messaging that comes from Cleveland City Schools. And I think the folks have been doing a great job of that so far, but we can always do better. And you may see, as you see on your screen right here, an icon more frequently, and our tagline is Building Champions, Building Community. And that's really resonated since convocation. And teachers, staff, a lot of people have really held on to this building of champions, and I think that it really resonates. So we wanted to move forward with that with a purpose. And the purpose being that Cleveland City Schools wants to market a campaign aligning with our strategic initiative here, marketing campaign focusing on showcasing our commitment to excellence in academics, athletics, arts, and community involvement. Again, with our tagline, we emphasize the holistic development of our students, nurturing their potential in all areas of life while fostering strong community ties. So that is the purpose of this campaign. And you can see on your screen as well some of the objectives. which include, again, highlighting these great things that are happening in Cleveland City Schools, showcasing the role of teachers, staffs, and parents, strengthening our community engagement, promoting Cleveland City Schools as a destination for quality education and personal development. And then also, if you look more closely at the campaign itself for 2024-2025, we would like to be a part of Mix 1041 and My Mix TV. We do have a relationship with My Mix. This relationship would include radio commercials, which would expand our message. This being 4 15-second radio commercials during the morning drive, 4 15-second radio commercials for evening drives. This is on a weekly basis, with value added being 10 15-second extra spots to run during the weekends. We also would have those who are chosen, the principals, and they can choose to bring in a student or a best partner or whatnot, and come into My Mix as well and do an interview with Steve Hartline or Bridget. This would be aired, and we all know that they are very successful in what they do is promoting their social media. They touch 9 separate counties and do a great job, and we know that we could really amplify the good messages with them. So this would include My Mix social media promotion, and then we would also use Cleveland City School social media promotion as well. And finally, the most exciting part about this is that we would get political rates, so that would bring the total value down from $3,650 per month to $1,000 per month. And that is what I have for you today. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we have a student representatives update from Mr. Jackson Assaron.
Hello, so we've been getting the hang of things at Cleveland High School. We had senior group photos taken by Reagan McKinley earlier this month, and also kids have been painting their parking spots. We had a pep rally led by Jaylee Garcia, which was really awesome and got a lot of spirit into the school before our first home game against Clinton, which we won. That was also our senior night, and we got to highlight some of our awesome seniors that are involved. We won last Friday at McMinn County, so we're 2-0. And our girls volleyball team is currently 10-3. So overall, sports are doing great at the beginning of the year. It's only been a month, but it's gone by really quickly. Some individual spotlights. We had a junior, Pearson Waller, who wins her division at World's Championship Horse Show in Kentucky, which is awesome. Senior Piper Fowler, 5th at Worlds for female wrestling. And senior Luke Felty gone to the prestigious MIT flying program, where they're going to pay to have him flown up to MIT for the weekend, and he'll stay and get to see the campus. We have new clubs starting, such as the Hispanic Organization Promoting Education. And this Friday, we're going to enjoy some Raider Way Day and get out early. Things are going great. It's going to go by really quickly, and I'm sure it's going to continue to feel this way up until next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. Does anybody have any questions for Jackson? All right, next on the agenda, we have a Facilities Committee update.
Mr. Hal Taylor is going to come and share an update from our Facilities Committee, a meeting that we held last Thursday.
Yeah, we did have a voting item on the facilities meeting last week. We covered quite a few issues, but mainly we came with one voting item to bring to you tonight, and that was the facilities use agreement. If Cody would like to click on that there. This is basically an agreement that the city council has already passed. It's allowing us to use the tennis courts at Tinsley Park, and it spells out when we can use them for both our middle school and high school team. We added the Cleveland Middle School to that. And then down at the bottom, we also have an agreement down there for the arena and CYBL. So that's what this is. It's just an understanding. Once you approve it, then we will send it back to the city council for them to review again. Any questions about the agreement or anything in it?
I had a question about we've had some discussions about use of the Raider Arena in the past, and one of the things that have popped up is fairly expensive to use that and keep the lights on at various times. I figure the tennis courts probably doesn't cost near as much for them to use that, but how does that, how do you think that's going to affect anything with regard to the cost of the facilities?
We've actually, if you go down in the agreement, they had a minimum hours, and we looked at it, and we're going to send it back with more discretion on the part of the principal and athletic director, because we felt like it was, I think we had 15 hours a week is what they required for about 4 months. And that was a lot of time to use the arena at a time that we're very busy with school going on. So we did kind of change some wording there. That's one of the reasons we're going to send it back to the city council. Cost-wise, we use the soccer complex, and they take full care of the soccer complex. That's all their property, and we do very little out there. So I think altogether, they use the turf for youth football. So I think altogether, it's a good arrangement. They have been very good at taking care of the building. We don't pay janitorial when they use our schools for practice, and when they use our arena, they have done the janitorial themselves for the most part, unless it's a very large tournament, then we do require them to pay the janitorial. But it's been a good relationship with them so far. They've had some folks that have stepped in and really made sure things were taken care of compared to prior to them. Our prior basketball league, I'll just say that we had some issues with, and the city, since they have taken this over, it's been very beneficial. And I do think we will be coming back to you with another agreement with CYBL, probably in the use of our individual schools for practice and so forth, eventually. But right now, did I answer your question at all? Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, board members, this comes as a recommendation from the Facilities Committee, so we don't need a motion. However, we do need a second. All right, second from Andy Lay. Call the vote.
A motion to approve the facilities use agreement. Nate Tucker,
Yes.
Chris McKay is absent. Andy Lake,
Yes.
Matthew Coleman,
Yes.
Carolyn Ingram,
Yes.
Peggy Pesterfield,
Yes.
and Jody Riggins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is the legislative updates. Do we have anything, Ms. Ingram? Can you turn your mic on there, please? There you go. Thank you.
Okay. There's not a lot going on the Hill right now, but I'm sure it will heat up in the next few months. But I think one of the things that we're going to see, a big topic this year, is the banning of cell phones. I've been hearing a lot about it, reading about it. Several schools within our state has already has some kind of ban on cell phones. There are 3 states that have completely implemented a total ban. There's just no cell phones at all in the states of. I know Florida was one, South Carolina maybe. I don't remember the other one, but anyway, that's one of the things we're going to begin to see. J.C. Bowman, who most of you know, he has said that it will be a fight. He said, I predict a fight when the school boards and schools have to begin to make that decision. And he thinks that it should be left to the LEA or the local schools, but it's a topic that we're going to have to deal with. So the legislators will probably put out some kind of a legislation this year about it. So that's the big thing right now, is banning school phones or banning phones.
Thank you, Ms. Ingram. Are there any questions?
Is it on? Have we talked to our teachers and principals about how they feel about that? I'd really be interested in knowing what the teachers think about us banning cell phones.
I know we've had conversations with our principal team, and I know they've communicated several conversations about that. So we'll have more conversations as we go and get into this. But yes, there have been several conversations about that.
Is it in favor of or not in favor of? Because we may want to consider a resolution to send to the state as well.
When we have several conversations, there's probably different ideas out there. So we'll zero in on what we want to say a little later. But it's a mix. And I think we'll have to just see where we can come to that happy medium. I hope we get to that point.
I have another question. Carolyn, you mentioned at one school totally did away with cell phones. Did that include the staff too, or just?
It didn't say, it was just, there are 3 school systems that have totally banned cell phones.
Okay.
In Florida and South Carolina, 2 of them, I don't remember the other one, may have been Louisiana. But there are several, I saw last week on Facebook where, the big high school in Johnson City or Kingsport, they have banned cell phones. Warren County is in the process, and they're looking at buying pouches to put their phones in, but they are very expensive. And what was it I read? They spend about $100,000 for every child to have a pouch to put their phone in. So it's something we're going to face.
All right, thank you. Are there any items that you want to share as far as new business goes? All right, so I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 6:38.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second? Anybody opposed? Meeting sojourned at 6:38.